My mother boasted during the meal, I disposed of your child's ornaments, the ones you presented to her, and spent the cash to purchase your stepfather a fresh vehicle. My stepfather applauded, at last making wise choices. I showed no response. The following day, the ornaments purchaser phoned yelling and freaking out. Father was midway through his beef when he announced it. We were seated in their eating area, Sunday supper, regular custom. The hanging lamp over the table threw cozy illumination over the array, Mother's fine porcelain. The costly Wedgwood items she reserved for important events, baked veggies, urban-fused smashed spuds, goblets reflecting the shine like small rainbows. I was slicing into my poultry when Father placed his utensil down and smiled at my stepfather, Richard. Have some positive updates, he stated, tone full of pride, thrilled, like a youngster displaying an excellent grade sheet. Recall that ornaments collection, the one Emma's grandma bequeathed her. My palm halted mid-slice, blade stuck halfway in the poultry fillet. I traded it yesterday, all 3 items. Visited that vintage ornaments spot in the city center, received $12,000 for it. He reclined in his seat, content victorious. Utilized the funds as an initial payment on that Audi you desired. Richard's expression brightened. He genuinely slapped his palms together like a walrus. Unbelievable, the dark one. The model we trialed last month, the dark one. Hide seats, warmed cushions, direction system, top-tier audio setup, everything included. Father lifted his goblet, saluted the atmosphere, finally executing intelligent moves here. They tapped glasses, clear sound echoing, both smiling, chuckling. Mother grinned, tasted her drink, agreed with a head movement, uttered nothing. I remained there, blade and utensil in my grasp, my neck abruptly constricted, narrowing, torso tightening as if somebody was perched on it. The ornaments collection, my grandma's green gem choker, armlet and studs, vintage design, likely from the 1920s, perhaps older. Green gems mounted in silver-white metal with small sparkles around each rock, detailed scroll patterns, the type no longer produced. She'd handed them to me prior to passing, 2 years back, August, late day, positioned in her medical ward. She'd clutched my palms, feeble hold, fragile epidermis, informed me the ornaments had belonged to our lineage for 3 eras. Her great-grandma's, then her mom's, then hers, now mine, compelled me to vow to protect them, to hand them onward one day to my offspring, to maintain the custom. I'd wept, vowed, gripped her palm till she dozed off. She passed 3 days afterward. I'd kept the ornaments at my folks' residence since my flat had been burgled the prior year. Somebody had forced open my sleeping chamber pane while I was employed, taken my portable computer, some money, a timepiece my university partner had provided. The authorities had done zilch, claimed it was likely youths, nothing feasible. I believed the ornaments would be more secure at their home, in their residence vault in their extra chamber, safeguarded. I'd relied on them. Emma, Mother's tone pierced the buzzing in my ears, piercing, worried. You're unusually silent. I glanced up, 3 visages gazing at me, anticipating, awaiting my words. I grinned, compelled it, tissues straining with the attempt. Merely pondering job matters. Apologies, major task approaching, talk on Friday. Father gestured his palm dismissively, irritated. Well, cease pondering, work and consume. This feast cost me plenty already. Top-grade slices aren't inexpensive, $40 per pound for this beef. Richard chortled, boisterous, excessively so. Not any longer now you've acquired Audi funds. You can purchase all the beef you desire. They resumed eating, discussing the vehicle, the attributes, the speed details, 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. How Richard was eager to operate it, how he'd bring it to the workplace tomorrow. Display to the fellows cause envy. I'm considering a custom tag, Richard mentioned, carving his beef. Something neat, suggestions? Ottoman, Father proposed. They both chortled. I completed my feast automatically, utensil to lips, masticate, ingest. No flavor, just action, just enduring it. You know, Emma, Richard stated, gazing at me over the table. You ought to be pleased for me, truly. It's overdue for me to acquire something pleasant. I've operated that Honda for 6 years, 6 years. Components deteriorating, you've observed it, I affirmed. Congrats, your father's been so benevolent, caring for me this way. I'm fortunate to possess him, fortunate to belong to this clan. Father glowed, proud, generous, the supplier. Mother extended her arm, pressed Richard's palm. We're fortunate to possess you as well. I pardoned myself to the restroom, secured the entrance, perched on the tub's rim, inhaled, exhaled, don't weep, don't respond, not here, not currently. Upon returning, they were discussing holiday ideas, perhaps Cabo, perhaps Hawaii. Richard had always yearned for Hawaii. Post-dinner, I assisted Mother in removing the dishes, transported platters to the cooking area, scraped remnants into the waste grinder. You comprehend, correct? Mother uttered softly, cleaning a platter, avoiding my gaze. Richard truly required a vehicle, that Honda was turning into a hazard, and those ornaments were merely resting in the vault. You never donned them. What's the purpose of owning fine items if they're simply secured? I polished a goblet, gradually, cautiously. It was Grandma's, I realized, dear, but she's departed, and she'd desire us to employ her items to aid kin. Richard is kin now. He's been with me for 5 years, that's kin. She entrusted it to me, precisely. Mother shut off the faucet, gazed at me. Emma, don't be greedy. You have an entire existence before you. You'll acquire more ornaments. Richard required this. Be joyful for him. I wiped my palms. I'm unwell. I believe I'll depart. Already. It's merely 7.30. We plan to play games, have sweets. I prepared your preferred cocoa dessert. Yes, migraine, apologies. Need painkiller. I possess some. No, I simply need rest. I'll recover. No one escorted me to the entrance. No one inquired if I was truly fine. No one proposed to visit later. I drove residents quietly, my palms trembling on the wheel, my sight hazy, road lamps merging. Don't weep, not yet, not till home, stay composed. I reached my flat, third-level stairs, unlocked the entrance, secured it after, sat on my sofa in darkness, in my jacket, in my footwear, and I didn't weep, I schemed. The next dawn, Monday, I reported ill to employment. Initial ill day in 8 months, then I contacted my attorney, Sarah Mitchell. I'd employed her for my rental agreement check when I relocated last year. She was keen, detailed, straightforward, mid-40s, practiced for 20 years. Sarah, I require assistance with an issue. My father traded belongings that were mine without approval. Recount all I described, the ornaments, the legacy, Grandma's passing, the keeping at their residence, the supper, the Audi, the festivity. Your father traded items that were yours, she uttered gradually, cautiously, noting, I heard her writing tools scraping. That's larceny, misuse of assets based on worth could be serious larceny. Have evidence the ornaments were yours. My Grandma's testament. It explicitly details the ornament set, portrays each item thoroughly, the choker, the armlet, the studs, and designates me as the only heir. It's evident, ideal, provide me a duplicate. Today, if feasible, we'll begin with a request notice. Official legal alert that the items were taken and must be restored instantly or reimbursed for complete market price. If he declines or disregards, we submit criminal accusations and a legal action. How much value are we discussing? For old green gem ornaments like that, expertly evaluated, could be 20, 30,000, perhaps higher. Vintage designs are very sought after. Green gems are scarce. The artistry, the background, all elements, I felt nauseous. Father had traded them for 12,000, had been cheated, likely didn't attempt bargaining. I'll deliver the testament today. I visited the financial institution at midday, the secure box where Grandma's testament was held. Her attorney had provided a key, designated me co-owner for protection, created duplicates of pertinent sections. The part listing her personal items, her ornaments assortment, each item portrayed. The green set particularly noted to my granddaughter, Emma Rose Martinez. The part designating me as recipient. Her mark, the observer's marks, the official stamp, all formal, lawful, enforceable. Dispatched them to Sarah via protected message. Then I performed another action. I contacted the ornaments purchaser father had sold to, discovered his identity and contact via investigation. Resale shop deals are occasionally open. Minor business, Kin operated, Chen's Premium Ornaments and Vintage Deals, City Center, operating 40 years. Mr. Chen, this is Emma Martinez. I think my father, Robert Martinez, sold you a green gem ornament set yesterday. 3 items, choker, armlet, studs, vintage style, silver white mounts, shuffling documents. Yes, Sunday afternoon, lovely items, excellent standard. I compensated 12,000, reasonable amount for their state. I'm certain it was reasonable, Mr. Chen. I simply wish to inform you that those items were pilfered. I'm the rightful possessor. I possess records, my Grandma's testament. My father lacked legal authority to sell them. He pilfered them from me. Quiet on the line, extended quiet. Then are you completely certain? Your father appeared genuine, possessed the items in fine containers, authentic containers, knew the background, claimed they'd been in the kin for years. He appeared trustworthy. He deceived, he pilfered from me and sold my belongings without consent or awareness. I've already reached my attorney. I'm submitting a law enforcement report this afternoon. The ornaments will require return as proof in a criminal pilfer case. You should get formal alert from the law enforcement in 48 hours. Hold on, I sold one item, the choker, to an enthusiast yesterday afternoon, immediately after your father departed. The enthusiast had sought vintage green gems for months. He compensated generously. Then you'll need to retrieve it. Reach the enthusiast, clarify the circumstance. I'm regretful you were involved, Mr. Chen. Sincerely. But I'm reclaiming what's mine. My attorney will contact with official records. This will cost me thousands. I'll need to repurchase the choker, likely at a deficit. And if I can't retrieve it, that's your issue with my father. He swindled you. You should contemplate filing accusations against him too. I disconnected. My palms were stable. My tone had been composed, factual, expert. I sensed nothing, just chilly, just resolute. That afternoon, I visited the law enforcement office, City Center Station. Waited 40 minutes to converse with somebody. Submitted an official complaint. Pilfer of assets over $10,000. Major pilfer. Supplied records. Duplicate of the testament. Images of the ornaments from when Grandma had donned it. I'd located them in ancient picture collections. Evaluation from 3 years prior when she'd valued everything for coverage. $28,000 for the collection. The official recorded my account. Investigator Morrison, mid-50s, weary gaze. He examined the records, analyzed them thoroughly. This is straightforward, he stated. Clearest pilfer instance I've encountered in months. Typically kin matters are unclear, she claimed. But you possess records, testament, images, evaluation, and the purchaser verifies the deal. We'll probe. When all verifies, and it will, we'll file accusations. Major pilfer, likely serious level given the worth. Thanks. Do your folks know you're pursuing this? No, he affirmed. It's going to become messy. Kin cases always do. You ready for that? Yes. For the subsequent week, I behaved entirely ordinary. I didn't contact my folks, didn't message, didn't reply to mother's hope you're improved note. Didn't reply to father's you departed early Sunday all fine, just attended employment, attended fitness center, prepared supper. Viewed streaming, read existed my existence. My attorney dispatched the request notice via verified post. Father had to acknowledge it. Somebody had to be residents to receive it. He acknowledged it on Wednesday. He contacted me twice that day in an hour. I didn't respond. He left recordings. Initial one, Emma, what on earth is this notice? Contact back. This is absurd. We must discuss this. Second one, Emma, answer your device. This is grave. You can't menace me with attorneys. I'm your father. Contact back immediately. I erased them. The law enforcement reached Mr. Chen on Thursday. He freaked, contacted the enthusiast who'd acquired the choker, implored him to restore it. The enthusiast declined initially. I compensated $15,000 for this item. You sold it to me for $12,000. I gained profit. Why would I restore it? Chen clarified. Pilfered assets, law enforcement probe, criminal accusations. If the enthusiast retained it, he could face accusations for accepting pilfered items. The enthusiast consented to restore it, but requested his $15,000 back. Chen had to repurchase at a $3,000 deficit, then had to restore all 3 items to the law enforcement as proof. He contacted father, yelling, menacing to litigate for deceit, for false representation for his deficits. Father contacted me 3 additional times that day. I didn't respond. All was progressing. Silently, effectively, like cascading blocks, like a device I'd constructed and activated. Then arrived the kin supper. 2 weeks afterward, mother's anniversary. She'd welcomed me weeks prior, before this commenced. Before I'd learned, I nearly skipped, but I desired to observe their expressions. I arrived with blooms and a grin. Yellow blooms, her top choice, 15 stalks, costly. Emma, you arrived. She embraced me at the entrance, firm, eased. I feared you wouldn't. You've been so aloof, so hushed. I assumed you were upset with us. Just occupied with employment apologies. Joyful anniversary, mother. Father and Richard were present, seated in the lounge, brews in grasp, athletics on screen. The Audi was stationed in the drive, shining, dark, immaculate, gorgeous. Richard had cleaned it, polished it. You could view your image in the coating. We consumed supper, pasta bake, mother's expertise, greens, herb loaf, standard kin supper, exchanged chit-chat, employment, climate, local rumors. Somebody nearby was divorcing. Mother unwrapped gifts post-supper sent from father, a soft wrap from Richard, $100 voucher to her preferred relaxation spot from me. Thanks, dear. This is wonderful, so considerate. We were sipping brew and pastry when father's device rang. He glanced at the display, scowled unfamiliar digits. I must accept this. He entered the cooking area, shut the entrance. We could hear his tone through it, escalating. Greetings. Yes, this is Robert Martinez. What? No, that's unfeasible. That's my vehicle. I possess the document here. What do you imply? Confiscated. Richard's device rang subsequently. He glanced at the display, puzzled, responded. Greetings. Yes, this is Richard Cooper. What? No, I was unaware. It was a present. Father returned to the eating area. His visage was flushed, furious, frightened, perspiring. What have you done? He uttered, staring straight at me, tone quivering. I placed my brew mug down cautiously, patted my lips with my cloth. I submitted a law enforcement complaint for pilfer, major pilfer. The ornaments purchaser reached officials and verified the deal. Evidently, when you sell pilfered items and then employ the earnings to buy another thing, that buy can be confiscated as crime proceeds. They're reclaiming the vehicle, removing it tonight. Richard rose, seat grinding noisily on the ground. You can't perform this. This is mad. I already performed. Mother's visage had become pale, totally pale. Emma, please, this is excessive. This is overboard. We can resolve this. We'll retrieve the ornaments. We'll correct it. No. My tone was composed, firm, chilly. You pilfered from me. You rejoiced it. You forced me to sit at this table and observe you rejoice it. You chortled about it. You saluted it. You were proud. Father's palms were quivering. Brew mug clinking on the plate. Those ornaments were just resting, gathering particles, achieving nothing. We required it was mine. Grandma entrusted it to me. She compelled me to vow to protect it, to pass it onward. You lacked authority. None, we're kin. Kin doesn't pilfer from kin. Kin doesn't chortle about it afterward. The space became quiet. Just Richard's respiration, dense, alarmed. Richard was gazing at his device, at the messages arriving. Recovery firm, 15 minutes distant, legal sessions. His identity noted on criminal accusations as a helper because he deliberately accepted items bought with pilfered funds. Father collapsed into his seat. They're accusing me with serious pilfer. My attorney claimed I could receive 2 years incarceration. 2 years. You should have considered that before pilfering $28,000 worth of ornaments. 28, it was only valued 12. That's what Chen compensated because you didn't trouble to get proper evaluation. The real evaluated worth is $28,000. That's on Grandma's coverage papers. That's what the law enforcement complaint states. That's what my legal claim will demand when I litigate you for compensation. Mother began weeping. I make up streaming. Please, please don't do this to us. We'll reimburse you. We'll trade the vehicle. Oh Lord, they're seizing the vehicle. We'll trade another thing. The vessel, the water bike's something. Please, they're confiscating the vehicle. You can't trade it. It's proof and I don't desire your cash. I desire fairness. Fairness? Father's tone elevated. For what? For attempting to assist Richard. For deciding about ornaments you never donned. For pilfering from me. For betraying my reliance. For disregarding Grandma's final desires. For rejoicing it like you'd achieved something smart. I rose, grabbed my bag, straightened my outfit. Joyful anniversary, Mother. Hope it was all you desired. I proceeded to the entrance. Could sense their gazes on my rear. No one stirred. No one uttered. No one attempted to halt me. I exited. The night breeze was refreshing. Insects singing. Entered my vehicle, ignited the motor through the eating area pane. I could observe them inside, still positioned there, immobile, Mother weeping, Father gazing at void. Richard on his device, desperately messaging somebody. Beams emerged at the street's end. Hauling vehicle punctual. I shifted the vehicle to back and departed.